Okay, everybody, it's November the 12th, 2025. It's about 11:55 in the a.m., like in the morning, like it's like in 5 minutes it'll be noon. We're heading up to Duncan to check out a store called the thrift store. It's called Thrift Town, but we're going to zip into Mill Bay first. There's a fish and chip place there that we may stop for lunch on the way home. Actually, I don't know if I want to go there right now.
400 meters,
but we're
keep
gonna
left
check it out.
Transfer Street.
And of course, there'll be a standalone video on this of today doing the video. If you haven't seen that yet, we already made a stop off at the warehouse store earlier after Walmart, and we did find the pop shop up after we just asked one of our regular viewers. I think his name is Jay, who watches the channel all the time, and I said, if we're going to be having it in soon. He says, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll let you know. And lo and behold, they must have just put it out that day, which is good. It's in the pop shop area it's in the pop area where they have the Jones sodas along that area. So there you go. Yeah, Shannon's at work today, or she'd be going, but she can go another time with me. This will not be an overnight trip. I did look at hotels up in Nanaimo and the parks area, but I'll do that another time.
Turn left on Highway 1.
And we like to go this way. We don't. We could go up to Highway 1, but we like to go the old Island Highway.
We are looking for something in that game. I think it's 25.5 for saves. The Devils
and this is the hockey channel on the satellite radio.
I have a feeling the Devils are going to throw some rubber towards Spencer Knight, and he's been up to the task this year. He's been incredible. So I like the Knight save prop, and that Oilers-Flyers game as well. You are right. I mean, the Oilers probably don't deserve to be favorites on the road against anybody at this point with how they've played. Something does smell like maybe they get the offense going.
For me, it's always fun watching back the dash cam videos. I don't watch them that often, but you can see that's under construction now, right? And you've all seen it before when it was the old format, right? And they're going to be building it up, so in the months and years to come, be able to see how it changes.
Is this something you can build on? You look motivated, excited to take on the Flyers.
I also want to see a response from the Mammoth. This is first game back after a road trip, which as a gambler can be a pretty tricky spot. But I think when that road trip doesn't go well and you've lost a few in a row, you're a little more heightened and you're motivated to bounce back. And they've had time off. It hasn't been a quick turnaround. They've been home for a handful of days, so they should be ready to play this game against Buffalo. You mentioned the J.J. Peterka connection there. And I watched that game when they went to Buffalo, and it went to overtime, but Utah absolutely dominated that game. So I have to think they're going to do more of the same on home.
Anytime there's a situation like this, it's kind of neat too, because they're not always there. You can see them doing the good work on the side.
Honestly, I should, just because blindly play them on the road, and I guess fade them at home, although they did get the win on home ice a couple nights ago. I have a little bit of interest. I like the goaltending matchup, Igor versus Vasilevsky. I don't think I'm actually going to play it, but yeah, maybe you just blindly play the Rangers on the road right now.
We're going to get into it tomorrow. On tomorrow's card, we got 10 games tomorrow night. Going to be a very busy card. But 4 is a great number on a Wednesday. A couple early, a couple late. You feel like you watched every game. Well, thanks to everybody for listening. Thanks for coming to the bar with us at Jake's Saloon. Hope you had a couple of beers. We will be back tomorrow for a Thursday edition of The Point. We're going to step aside right now. Let's let Cooley take over with a Wednesday edition of The Point.
And we can go. He says go, so thank you, sir. Always good to obey them. Years ago, though, I was driving somewhere and there was a guy kind of got confused. Like he waved me on like he just did, but the other guy at the other end wasn't ready and he was waving his arm, stop, stop, stop. But it was all good in the end.
There are certain times of the season where if you gotta make a splash, you gotta make a move. Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87.5, the Sirius XM app, where fantasy football championships are won. Can I choose the Sleep Number Smart Bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort and when you decide. Your Sleep Number 7. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night now.
Now there is one in Mill Bay that we've stopped off in the past and gotten some cool things. Like several years ago, I got a set of tailor-made golf clubs with the carbon shafts that I didn't really need to buy, but I bought them anyway because I got a steel shaft. Like they were top of the line back in their day, like. But I don't really golf anymore because the gentleman I used to golf with, Bill Taylor, sadly he passed away a couple of years ago, right? So it's been about several years since I
In
golfed.
400 meters, turn right on Admirals Road. Turn right at the traffic light.
Some are still wondering about the decision by head coach Nick Sirianni to throw out a 4th and 6
Craft Fair, Creekville Elementary, Saturday the 29th. This is 2025, so if you're in the area, you got to check it out. It's a good thing to do. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go because it's on a Saturday. I can't go, Charlie.
I knew exactly what the play was in that moment, what we called.
Alrighty then. Interim Giants head coach Mike Kafka met with the media today. Kafka said Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback against the Packers. Jackson Dart recovers from last week's concussion. Kafka also named Tim Kelly the offensive coordinator, but Mike says he will call plays. A knee injury of sideline Bucs star Giannis Antetokounmpo for tonight's game against the Hornets. ESPN reports Lakers star LeBron James reported that the club's G League affiliate
Several years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I was driving around here and there was somebody down on the grass that was having a medical issue, but the teachers and students were getting assistance at that time. I guess they were calling the ambulance. Never knew what happened, or what happened. I just hope that person was okay. It's odd you remember unique stuff like that.
In 2.5 kilometers, turn right on Atkins Road.
Oh yeah, Atkins Road. Remember back in the 90s they had the Atkins diet, right? Well, I'm pretty sure the Atkins Road here and the Atkins diet has nothing to do with one another. It's still just the same. It was kind of something you don't hear of too much anymore.
Welcome to the Power Play with Steve Koulis on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
You're allowed to turn in where that guy turned in that black car in that SUV, but there was a time when you were allowed to turn in this section here, right? But now they've kiboshed that. I guess maybe there was an accident or something. So because of that, I don't go there as often as I used to.
700 games, doing outstanding work in career number 2 in broadcasting and in coaching his hockey. Coming up on the program today, the orders will appear. Darren Pang, Memorial Cup champion, an outstanding broadcaster himself.
Somewhere I've got dash cam of driving in and out of that place. I should play it back sometime. It'd be kind of neat to see, Charlie. Charlie, meow. Is this Charlie? Hi, Charlie, meow. Meow. Meow.
Accidentally on purpose collision. skiing. I just right off an offensive zone face, I just ran the goalie right over. And then I forget who I fought. It's actually on YouTube. It's pretty funny. And I got kicked out, and
In
and that was
400
it. And after I
meters,
told the
turn
rink,
right on
you know,
Atkins
our
Road,
movement
then
guy, I said,
take
hey,
the first left.
go and tell the goalie I apologize. Like, I forget who it was. It was a Finnish guy, and he's like, he says it's okay. And that was it. I got kicked out of the game. I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. So, yeah, it happens by accident, right? On purpose or accident? Maybe it was both.
It was Kari Lettinen.
Well, probably. Yeah. And then I think the guy who I fought, I don't think he really wanted to fight. But there's nothing to do when a guy runs over your goalie. But it's just one of those games that honestly, and I think a lot of guys have been in this position. When your game is going bad, you're looking for an exit door. And I was looking to get out before it got worse.
And get them back then. I'm sure if it was in Atlanta, they had the new building. I know it was not Eric Bolton or Andy Sutton. I don't think it would have been those guys.
No. I would have been very kind to both those guys.
Yeah, you would have seen. See, that's awareness. You would have seen who was on the ice and decided if you were going to start to go through the tulips or not. No.
So this bus lane is relatively new in the last few years.
Guys, we're not running goalie.
I love it. The Thrashers have come up a lot.
Turn
lately
right
for,
on
different
Atkins
reasons.
Road, then take
Advance
the
has come
first
up a lot
left.
lately for another reason, but we don't have time to get into that now.
And what we're going to do is we're going to pull up into Fetus Lake briefly, because I've just received another message notification. I can't see who it is. It's weird. I used to be able to see who it was on the messenger, like.
Turn right at the traffic light.
It's the bus lane / turn lane.
In 600 meters, turn left on Highway 1 North.
Number 34, Austin Matthews, hurt again. Anthony Stolar, Maple Leaf goalkeeper, hurt again. Vancouver, Thatcher Demko.
You have to watch, like there's a stop sign up here that's been there for a few years now, but hasn't always been here.
Will not play tomorrow. Will be reevaluated. Nick Suzuki at maintenance, kind of. I think we use another term for it. Massage day. So don't panic if you're in Montreal. So let's get to the games last night. I think the Landeskog and Avalanche story. Let's be honest. You got the.
So we're not going to turn here right now. We are going to in a sec, but we're going to. Well, it wouldn't be this one anyway. It would be the next one.
Neil Carlson scores. He's second in the league in scoring, and good for Gabe Landeskog. But 2 disallowed goals. We argue they should have, could have, would have been.
And we do have to turn
Turn
here
left on
eventually, but we
Highway
got to
1
go up
North.
into here to reset the messages.
March of last year, Avalanche are first overall Scott Wedgwood is the best backup in the league. Strutting.
Fast game. Man, this was fast. They were flying. Both teams were flying all over the place, making things happen out there quickly. I thought that
I've used this before for this kind of stuff. Like
but I thought that the pairing out
years ago, back in the 90s, I used to get a summer parking pass for here. I would pay. It was like I think it was $17 for the 2 months or for a month. Like, but what would happen is people would come by after you were done your swim, and they would say, "Hey, can I take your pass from you since you don't need it
Turn
anymore?" I would
left
say, "Well,
on West
no,
Park Lane, then take the first right.
because I need it for the next month." Like,
Never come back from that before. Here he is back playing.
so we're gonna
Turn
see who
left
this
on
is.
West Park Lane, then take the first right.
Is he going to be the player he was before the injury? Well, I don't know. That injury was almost 5 years ago. I'm not sure. But the fact that he's back, we've obviously loved in that dressing room.
and he'll contribute in any way possible because every game means so much to him right now, Cole, because of what he went through. He appreciates it so much each game.
Yeah, and the thing is, if he is going to be a third line left winger, all things considered, with the cap going up and where he is, I think it could work now. If we were 88.5, 90, it might be different, but they have a lot of other players on this team, as we saw. Like Lehkonen has been a great story in Colorado. Machushkin, when you look at his numbers, when he's in or out of the lineup and he's had his own issues, when he's not in the lineup, they're kind of just barely a 500 team. When you have some teams have a guy that stirs the drink, and you're right about the Ducks defense. I mean, they've done a pretty good job still with 3 regulars for them.
Hello, I just got your message.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Oh no, I was about to drive up island now.
Yeah, that's good.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the reason why I was asking why you have to be back when you have to be back at work, right? Is because since you're driving up island, if you see good price for a hotel, you can stay the night somewhere.
I thought about that, but I'd rather do that another time. I think, like.
Oh, okay.
Right. I'd rather do that with you and me together one time, like.
Okay.
Because I don't have any of my stuff for overnight. I'm at Thetis Lake now. I pulled into Thetis Lake.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I was seeing.
I was just saying that to you.
Okay,
So.
but well, maybe I'll see. But I don't have anything with me, like.
Okay. No, yeah. If you want to save it for another time, like check out the thrift stores and see what's up there.
Yeah, because I think this is sort of a reconnaissance one for me going to Duncan, right?
Right.
I thought if it's a good one, then maybe another time me and you can go up in a few weeks, and we would stay in the park, so at our favorite hotel, like.
Yeah.
Like rather than me waste it, because I was at hotels last week, right?
Right.
But I appreciate you asking me though.
Okay. I was just like wanting to like let you know that if you had your stuff, but I didn't know you didn't have your stuff or anything. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that anytime you do something on your own and I'm not there, if you want to stay a night somewhere, you're more than welcome to. Okay.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
I don't even have my fanny pack to recharge my phone other than in the car with me.
Uh-oh.
But that's okay because it's charging in the car. But if I did stay overnight somewhere, I got no way of.
You're right.
But what I should do is I should always leave like a power brick in the car, like.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and next time you go in the van with me, I gotta connect your cable back up, like.
Oh, okay.
Because I took it up with my brother and sister being in the van. They'd wonder what this is for, right? And.
Right.
Right, and yeah, because it didn't work when I parked my Android phone there for some reason. So since you're on the dash cam video, do you want to say hi to any of the viewers on video?
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, this is Shannon. She'll be on a future trip.
Yeah. Maybe I know what you can do because it's almost at Christmas. It's like getting into the Christmas season, right?
Yeah.
Maybe before like Christmas, right? But like after they do the big event up there,
Yeah.
we could go and have a look at the Christmas lights in Ladysmith.
That'd be fun.
Oh, that would be really fun.
To maybe stay in the Nime or something. We'd have to figure it out. Like as long as it's not raining, I don't mind doing the night driving too much. It's when it rains and all that. Like.
Well, like to look at the Christmas lights, you can basically like it's basically on one of the streets, so we could park somewhere and like walk a bit.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's good.
But we won't go to that Ladysmith light up because that's the night before we go to the, so the ladies with light up, it happens the night before we go to the one at the hillside.
Oh yeah, we can't do both, like.
No.
Charlie.
So yeah. But we could go up there and just like, you know, find something, maybe do some Christmas shopping up there somewhere, you know?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay, so you're all good and your sugar's good and you got food for work and all that good stuff?
I do.
That's good. Okay?
Okay.
So you can track me later on too if you want, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye for now, meow. Bye.
Bye, meow.
Thanks for calling me out. Meow.
Phone call completed.
You wonder, will the rest of the team affect the top?
Well, as you can see, as you can hear, that was Shannon calling. A little bit of bonus action here. Yeah. No, I did think about staying overnight, but I don't have any charging stuff with me.
So I think you have to elevate before you close yourself in. And what I can't believe that we're talking about celebrating being on team now. Like, I expected that the next round.
No, we'll save it for another time, Charlie, for that.
Turn right at the stop sign, then take the first right.
Massive changing of the highest levels of hockey grades operations, changing their minds.
And I'm with you.
Turn right on Highway 1 North.
So now this has changed everything. I mean, there's too many players for not enough spots. If you're adding the Tom Wilsons of the world and Nick Suzuki, and I don't see Celebrini not being in a role like not 13th or 14th forward. And if you look at the numbers now, right now we're projected for 48 goals and 125 points. That's it. Everyone's projected high who's that high in the scoring picture. But I would go up from my 30, 32 to maybe 40, right? Provided he plays every game. And into the 90s. Like, oh my God, Trevor. In year 2, they mislead as a team.
Continue on Highway 1.
He's ahead of the curve. He's ahead of the curve. You know, you put your little kid on the ice, you go get a hot chocolate, you look at the door at the Zamboni because you think they're there. And then somebody taps you on the left shoulder and goes, they're doing laps. And you're going, right, Strutty Jr. is ahead of the curve. Here we go. And where he is now is already, whatever the Sharks do, that he's already in a spot where he is already wowing us even more than he did last year, right?
So as you heard me and Shannon talk, in the van now we can charge the cell phone, right? But we should keep like an extra cable and maybe a mini power bar, so if you did stop off somewhere you could charge it, right? So that's a good idea. Or some people would say maybe just get in the habit of putting the jackery in the car every time you go away from property.
This might be talking over the course of the next 18 months. But where do we need to come from? What do we need to have? How do we get with some of these assets we've either drafted or accumulated because we've been kind of banging off the bottom for the last 10 years?
Dmitry Orlov was available, right? Weir picked him up. John Klingberg was available, he picked him up. Now, Klingberg has a lot of, last night, he led the team a nice time. Those two veterans. Like, Orlov might have been a league miss when you look at some other teams around the NHL. Klingberg has some good and bad. Orlov has 11 points right now. He played 27 and a half minutes last night. So, great storyline as it relates to an 8-6-3 team that started 0-4. 2 of 9 in the NHL last night. When we come back, Josh Morrissey's good too, you know. He's good. He had a great game last night. And then the injuries. Guys who have been hurt before, got hurt again last night. We'll explain all of it, Lucy.
It's Jimmy Town, and I'm back. Get ready for the holidays of my exclusive Sirius XM channel, full of classic holiday songs handpicked by me. Jimmy Fallon's Holiday Seasoning Radio. Super fun. Check out Channel 15 on Sirius XM. In case you missed it on NHL Network Radio.
Back behind himself, Morgan Frost stripped to the puck by Bedard. Racing down the slot, Bedard leads and Turkey scores! A highlight field goal for Connor Bedard!
From a high golfer position, Leo gets it to Connor. Two-goal games for Leo, who has arrived. NHL
Yeah, I don't think we'll go to the Nanaimo today, you guys.
Sirius XM.
California Closets choose custom design Chloe's home office / desk room. Now she has a spacious desk with built-in charging for devices. Sleek wood cabinets conceal a queen-size Murphy bed for guests, and drawers deep enough to hide clean sheets.
It would be
and
good to do it a
printer.
Tuesday
Now her
going
spare
to a
room is perfect
Wednesday.
for workdays and weekend visits. California Closets makes space for what belongs. We
Well,
do
we'd
it for
have to
Chloe,
because
and we
I
can do it
work
for you. Schedule
Thursdays
your free
normally,
in-home
sorry.
consultation now at 800 Cal Closets or CaliforniaClosets.ca. A rich life isn't a straight line to a destination on the horizon. Sometimes it takes an unexpected turn. With detours, new possibilities, and even another passenger, or three. And with 100 years of navigating ups and downs, you can count on Edward Jones to help guide you through it all. Because life is a winding path, made rich by the people you walk it with. Let's find more rich together. Edward
So
Jones.
24K, we're into the
Vegas names in the game. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
We're back. Jets and Canucks played a wild first period. 3-2 after one. John Days, special guest on the Jets broadcast. Sorry, let's see this bag at the game. Friend of the show.
start of the Malahat Drive. I think we got the right time on the dash cam on the November 12th, 2025 at 12:22 p.m. The reason why I say that is the last major recording I did, it was an hour out because I forgot to follow back.
Yeah, so the broadcasters, they were talking about it a little bit, like he looked uncomfortable and the warm up, and then you saw the game, he just didn't look set. And that's in summer. Like, again, I know it's on this, but you know that this celebrity name isn't right.
I haven't seen the salmon streaming in years. We should go there soon.
Something's not right. So obviously he felt like it would be okay. He wasn't. And so as a teammate, I'd be like, hey man, like what's going on? Like you want this guy in your lineup. Now you're right, that's a huge thing. But I think Demko has a high ceiling. And they want to know for him to make sure he can play and be healthy for his career. But selfishly as a teammate, like you want him to be able to play, you want him around. So I'd be worried for him. I'm like, hey, what is this related to what he had before? Is it something different? If it is only 2 to 3 weeks, that's really good news, especially.
Yeah, so this is gonna probably mean because he got full. At one point, you could argue he was. Hellebuyck was having a better year, and it was Demko. If you're looking at say U.S. goalies as an example. Dottinger in the mix, obviously Swayman, Spencer Knight's been playing great. Joey DeCord obviously is a great story. So go further down the list. It's almost now from a Vancouver point of view and a realism point of view. With so much depth, you probably wouldn't take a chance. Bring somebody over now who's got, and for himself, we just talked about Landeskog, in a much more serious situation. I didn't think surgeries and cartilage and cadavers and, you know, modern. If Bobby Orr had that, he wouldn't have played 657 games. He would have gone to 1,000 and everything. You know what I mean? He got hurt at the wrong time, for sure, in terms of era. And speaking of defensemen, I mean, Quinn Hughes had 3 points last night. Josh Morrissey's officially tied for second now with his game. I think still he's in a tweener zone. Like, the Jets have been sexy enough for people who have center ice and other, because they got great players. They haven't won the playoffs, but they've had damn great players. But Morrissey had an outstanding game, and the play that took that Morrissey, Kyle Connor to Gabe Velarde, spreading. I don't think anybody thought he was going to shoot the puck except Gabe Velarde. That was a beautiful play.
Yeah, so you're talking about the backhand. That backhand, and I don't know what it is. I think it's so disrespectful when you shoot on the goal with your backhand. It's like, I could beat you with my forehand, I'm using my backhand. And I think it surprised most of the people around him, like trying to defend him. And the net line, I don't think anyone expected that.
See, it is 80 here on the
sorry, that shot, that choice of
the whole
shot,
Princeton, it was close, it was 100, remember?
Now, Josh Morrissey, I've always loved Josh Morrissey the way he plays. I do think he's underappreciated by fans because he's not the sexy player like a Quinn Hughes, Hale McCarr, Revensky. These guys that cover so much ice. Now, he's a good skater, but he's a little more subdued in the way he's more subtle with the plays he makes with or without the puck. But he is a really important piece of Winnipeg, and to me, an elite defenseman this week.
Canucks fall to 8-9-1, but so many teams in and around NHL 500 for basically since game number 1, because the league is so tight. The win for the Jets gives them a nice 10-6, 5-3 at home, 5-3 on the road. As, you know, Perfetti was in front of the net during that Velarde goal, so it's good to see him back. Tage is getting better. So speaking of Morrissey, who's tied with Heiskanen behind Cale McCarr for second in league scoring. Here he is on.
Oh, there's this fish and chip place here now in Duncan. There used to be, I think, a place I think was called Bob's Diner, like, or I don't know if it's still there.
I think it really comes down to just little battles, you know, up in that intensity and compete level. And it's a fine line up there between playing with the NHL. That's from the start of the game. Just if you battles a lot better, you know, these 5-on-5 and it's also special teams power play with a couple big goals. So yes, it's nice to get back on track.
Because we have a little bit of time, and obviously there's a drop off when we get to games 8 and 9. I kind of want to squeeze in one here that relates to who's the worst starts. Good for Bill Hull. Good for Jordan Pennington and Rasmus Swickey. He's playing well. He's agent right now. And then you got the
Sadly, in Duncan, a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, there was another thrift store in Duncan called the Good Neighbors Thrift Store, and sadly it had a bad fire, and they didn't rebuild that location. Like, Charlie's a raining. Charlie. south end of Shawnee Lake. And we used to go, me and one of my friends, Vaughn, went for a bike race. I think it was a time trial, but I can't remember 100%. We won't get out of the car here, but we're just going to pull in here for a sec, just to show everyone that there is this nice rest area at the Malahat Summit. Right, and I think you've seen it in other videos before. It's kind of a good place to stop if you just want to rest for a sec. So we'll just check that. A nice merge lane here, which is good. Not really an official rest stop, but there's the Malahat Skywalk. You can pull into there and get have a bit of a break if you want. Now here's another rest stop here that used to be a good one, but they've closed this one entirely. Don't really know why that was done. Well, probably because you have another viewpoint ahead, that's why. We don't need to go into that one today, we've written the other one. That's another big one.
said it earlier, everything's kind of, like, everything's really close to being in all.
As you saw the sign for the Bamber to turn off at 2K, that has really changed over the year, the actual turn off. They've really done a lot of clearing there, so it's kind of like when I saw it a few months ago when I was traveling up here with Shannon, I thought that's not it, but apparently it is. Like,
twice the 3 times, or I guess 2 games that they played just a couple years ago. That's a big thing because they're directly competing. When you look at some of the trades that they've teams have put off each other, and that's how that's worked out recently. Like they were trading good players that they shouldn't have. They actually they still have them. So I want to believe this team because they're showing themselves that they can get it done.
Yeah, I mean, 3 players outside Lindholm, Williston, and a personal reason not to play, Austin Still. And then you kind of go salt in the wound with Tracy Minton. Trouble since he came from Randy Carlo and Canada with defense. And then you throw in Alexander Steeves and Rafa Kushkina, already top 6 forwards each in our first and our producing. But the team is revolved around. Well, now who are you taking for 2 years? What is Ross Jersey like? You lost the night in this one, too. Well, we should have got an empty net hat trick for the before with this past in the first quarter. Never leave the best team to get more than that has experience. But you might be able to do it for Iki and Kushkina and some other players. I would say this is awesome. He is because he's been there for many, many years. The last night was almost 2 weeks straight.
So we pick another team. This is the two of us last night. The first was a breakaway, and I think we paid extremely breakaway. And then later on, for miles, that's this is just gets lost. And that's what great players do. They get
I'm trying to picture where this place is, like, this fish and chip place. It says 2.4K. I'm wondering if it's on the other side of the highway. They would definitely catch it on the way back if we go there at all, Charlie.
the smart players, the players that what are those guys playing? And that's their job. They're going to find this guy. What they put back. They did it twice last night. And unfortunately, I think those are both in the
Well, they're not 32nd in the league in team defense by absence. They have hurt them. They have dried up offensively. That would be smart because there's smart in the NHL to run forward, but that's at the expense of defense.
In 1 kilometer, arrive at 2490 Trans-Canada Highway on the left.
It is on the left, Charlie.
In NHL circles, that's a 2 out of 10 body check. Matthews didn't even hit the boards. It wasn't even that violent, to be honest. But we'll save that. We'll save that for later. Pasternak is at 400, 401. He is the 112th all-time player in NHL history to score 400 goals. He's going to score 500 plus, probably 600. 6th Boston player to do so. Number 1 on the Bruins all-time list, by the way, is Johnny Busick at 545. So that could be in play.
So it's up in
Here
there.
is
It looks
number
like.
88.
Really hit me when the guys came over. That was so cool, they did for me. That's when probably.
In 100 meters, arrive at 2490 Trans-Canada Highway on the left.
I guess it's in that complex up there. We'll have to check it out on the way back, Charlie.
I think that's also first year I hit 100 points so just to be able to bring that home in front of our fans, maybe that's why it was special.
On pace for 46 in 100 right now.
Continue on Highway 1.
Next up, Will Edmondson and Joel Armia turn back to Montreal and each score. Lead for the Kings was the second period as Sam Montembeault continues.
So I kind of thought it was going to be down in this complex here, to be honest. Like,
Montembeault is 861 as Montreal was humbled in the second, and even Lane Hudson showed that he was human as Armia picked his pocket.
Yeah, you know, the notes I made beside this game was I felt like the Habs kind of were their own worst enemy in this game. You highlighted the Fiala goal. I mean, Fiala's going to be sending him a Christmas card saying thank you because the puck came to him and the netminder months ago, and he literally just shoveled it right to his left. And I guess maybe he thought he had his support there. I think when things aren't, you know, when you're not feeling really good about yourself, you just eat that, you swallow it up, bring it in, let's reset. He does it, Fiala scores. When you talk about Elaine Hudson, give him credit. He put a lot of pressure. He put a lot of pressure. The skating pressure, a really good skater, a good puck handler. I don't think maybe Elaine felt that pressure in that goal. It's been probably a good goal. So, you know, those are two right there. When the next goal goes, the coaches look at it. Okay, what? Did we shoot ourselves in the foot? No, yes we did. We two, I believe they shot themselves. I think you're right on the there. So they, you know, let's take that one up. But they shot themselves in the foot. That's kind of what they like to take as you go on. You got to eliminate those ones night in, night out.
And the Kings, who were the best team in the league,
Charlie.
They're like the Rangers, because that was their seventh road win in 7-1 and 2. And there's a lot to like. And then you talk about coaching. You better me up with what was our Kempe. You know, as Perry started late, they were figuring out the line. Mango was in that spot, and Armia's done very well. He returns to Montreal, and see what you want. That was the dagger goal, right? That was 4-1. Good night, Irene. Here is the former Hab on his return, and his newfound goal.
Especially for playoffs and World for me. I've been here for a long time, and that felt really good.
Didn't expect it to be as loud as it was, and then it just kept going, and just really cool.
Yeah, no, that was, like I said, a special moment for sure.
You guys give up that goal late in the first. What did you like about the way the group kind of reset to come up for the second and then seem to play your game early in the second period?
Yeah, I didn't think we played bad or anything in the first. We kind of knew that we had all late comments to come back there and just stick with it and play our game. It was a good period, I think, but they just happened to score.
Freddie, nobody does mini ceremonies or closing the buildings and opening. Nobody does any of it like Montreal, right? And they know the right touch. It's almost, you have to tell them. You know, great, pass the torch, but the Rocket's going to get the biggest. You know what I mean? Like, I was there for that. But even little things we're saying, we appreciate this guy.
Yeah, it's too bad that fish and chip place wasn't closer to Duncan, like.
I like the way Freddy's done it. Everything they do in those moments is classy. Like, it just feels so classy. Well done. I don't know who I should be applauding, who the name of the person is, or the people, but it just always comes off right. It's the Montreal Canadiens, and they do have, it does matter for the Montreal Canadiens. I think that they are, you know, one of the most celebrated franchises in the league. But the way they do it, I know their alumni, current players, players on the left, or have been there, they've gone, like, they really, really do a good job. And they to be, I think, applauded for that.
Next up, come back for the Dallas Stars. A key stick by Mikko Rantanen helped spring himself, and he scored. Rantanen and Jason Robertson, who's not on anyone's list, it seems, plays one of his best games in a few years. Key factor, scored from Rantanen, and a wild overtime sequence, you know, with Allmark diving all over the bed, and then Rope hits. See, he's back. It was just incredible. I don't know how it stayed out. Anyway, what a come-from-behind win for the Stars, and a point that I hope doesn't cost the Ottawa Senators. I think the change might have been Tyler's Levin. You've been handcuffed before. Can you unlock yourself? What should he have done in retrospective analysis on that play?
Yeah, I think that's the hard part. You know, I'm not sure if it was but it is a tough spot to be in. It's like someone gives you a puzzle and you have to put it back together, right? And that's a hard part. So I think you got to kind of start there. But you know, Jason Robertson, which see Shabaka, if you were there. Sure. So I get that. He does make a difference in that league. But for Dallas, I think Jason wants to score. And they need it so bad. It's been 5 months since he scored.
And past the great bit of help there was from Ryan. So he was in on that scramble, and he's getting the first should have won the game anyway. And you bring up an interesting point because you wanted to see.
Is this the way we go, Charlie? Yes. Seaside Village Route. Remember we did that one time, Shannon. Remember we got that camera, remember?
It's easy to say now. When you brought that up, it's almost to say, I don't think we were doing that with 2 minutes to go in the third when they're up. When you're going, I'm just going to eat it. You're going to come and pour the panther it off me. So that's the mindset. And since you brought it up, you would have said, if it was you, would you have yelled to him, no, no, no? They had time and space to make the play.
I think we're going to go down that route. We're going to try that. We're going to go down through there.
Yeah, so you're trying to and understand, and maybe he has to be already. Just kind of think that this might become too.
Turn left on the road, then turn right.
So just let me managing that. You're trying to get a change. Keep that puck below the top. Especially down here. Keep that puck below the top. Just moving around. Let's not get many energy goals next week. So, it's maybe a very in total to that. We'll go down and rush the other ones on him, but there is a certain amount of learning layered on. So it might be on the level of just reviewing.
So we're just going to do View Map Road. Like, not sure if this is where we went with Shannon at one time, but it might be Shannon.
You go to 10, 4, and 3. All these good teams with good road records, they do 5, 1, 2 on the road. Here it's 96.
Last 30 minutes, George, for sure. Did we win first 10 in the second, and we're generating action. But yeah, pushing a little bit better in the third, and Thunder likes it.
Is there something to be said for not thinking as much too? It seems like it was just attacking the odds more than
Yeah, I think there's certain element of urgency, and we're gonna be aggressive on the offensive side to create. We can't always sit back and be too conservative. We gotta be more aggressive right from the start.
Great stuff. We hit the break, and when we come back, we'll pause from the 9 games in the NHL last night. The big storylines that include the Leafs' problems, injuries, of course, and the Stan Coven fight, because he's going to be on the program in about an hour and a half from now. So we'll hit the break. More games at 4. The power play wheel is
On and off the ice.
Utah Mammoth Logan Cooley.
How important that is for the players to know that ownership is going to do everything possible to achieve what we want to achieve.
Dave's going to give us every opportunity, every chance to succeed, and we're all super thankful to be in this position, and that's the reason why I want to be here for the long haul.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Why settle for a 7 a.m. tea time when you want it 8?
Yeah, I think this is it. This is where that.
Or a corporate card that gives you pennies and rewards when you could be saving thousands.
That right where we stopped here in one of the videos. Because there was that. See, the Cherry Point 10K was around here years ago, Charlie.
Slowing you down. With Rev, you get real-time visibility into every transaction. Out of policy spend, blocked before it clears. Duplicate SaaS tools for unused seats.
This is the seaside.
Waste your budget. Ramp automates the guardrails so you can stop chasing receipts and start driving strategy. Over 40,000 companies already run on Ramp, including CBS. teams reclaiming time, cutting costs, and closing the books without overtime. Because with Ramp, the less you touch your expense system, the better it works. Right now, your business can get $250 off at ramp.com/sports. That's ramp.com/sports. Ramp.
Maybe we should stop there, Charlie.
Points. Read them again. Hockey lives here. Looks left side. Shot score! Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. The best hockey lives here. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. The world's greatest coverage. Sirius XM NHL.
So this should be the new perennial way of going to Duncan if we're not in a hurry, Shannon. I think this is it. So you can see on the dash cam what's coming up. Not the dash cam, on the GPS. GPS. Wow, wow. This is it, Charlie. Look at this, Charlie. Isn't that beautiful? Meow. Burp. Burp. Oh, this is Bay. That's Cowichan, Charlie. Cowichan Bay. Cowichan Bay pub meow. Market liquor store. Oh, there's neat little cafes here. Divine. I know, I still like the place on the highway though. Pretty cool, Charlie. Oh, they can't even stay there, Charlie, sometimes. This is nice, Charlie. Buddy, if you won the lottery or something, you could buy a house up here.
He's not 20. He's 30. So there's a lot going up wrong in terms of team defense. Look, this group of defensemen right now is playing with a hot potato, and they're not defending well as a group. Forwards, defensemen, getting the goaltending. They're lucky straight. They're 8-1. That record flatters.
Yeah, and I think that, I think it's just St. Louis and Seattle. Like, you can't, the way that people just replace them, when they're just not doing it's like they're fighting for it, they don't have that heaving shift or that change that's required. But that's got to start with the team. And this team would be making those types of professionals. Like, they're veterans. These are rookie guys that you see.
Says you can go that way to the Trans-Canada Highway, but we're gonna go down here a little bit more. Pretty sure we're allowed to be driving on this road here. I didn't see any sign, because sometimes there's like a native reserve, and they have it's considered theirs, which is 100% a good thing, right? But you have to respect their lands and their territory, that you can't drive on their property if it's deemed like an offload zone, like. If you ever do get yourself in a situation, you're questioned like why you're here, to say, I'm a little lost, so I'll turn right around. Like sorry for your inconvenience or whatever. You gotta be respectful to everyone. I like going on these drives where you know where you are, but you don't know where you are. This is how you find stuff really cool, like. here. We have been down this road before. Oh no. The special Woodstock's down here. But we have been down this road before. But we might have gone in a different way, not necessarily this way. We probably came off that road back there, right? Which we would have, like. Yeah, that's right. That's at Providence Farm. That's where the special Woodstock is in there. So we have been on this part of the road before, but we came in the other way, but we might have gone back out that way. So at least we know where we kind of are turning. See, no trespassing down that road there, Charlie. Stay tonight, but we'll be more prepared another time, Charlie. Like we could have, but
literally hits the kind of that intersection of the post and the crossbar to the left or the right side against the netminder. Right over the glove. Hey, that was just an absolutely beautiful shot by him. They got a win, they had to win a little bit, so it helps where they're feeling, I guess. But I really like that goal by Charlie Cole in that moment. Having the culture thinking.
I think this is the way we want to go, Charlie.
8-7-1 are the Columbus Blue Jackets. All right, let's begin with Nick Dowd bumping into Freddie Anderson, and all heck broke loose. Freddie pushed back, and Freddie has a history of injuries and upper body injuries, as you know. And then it led to Logan Stankoven, who's going to join us in his first ever fight, I'm told, against Martin Ferravari. I think we know who ended up winning the fight, but as Leslie would say, I admire your courage, my friend, for getting involved in that scrap.
Yeah, Logan Stankoven, he plays a lot bigger than he actually is, right? And he's got, I love that. I was watching now, but he came flying in there looking for him. I like the Freddie Anderson, this response. Like, there's people who just can't just accept it. You just maybe have enough of the other one to think. What I found really interesting is looking down the other road, Logan Thompson's standing there. He's like, what should I do? And I would love to have been in his head thinking, and to Dan to know what he's thinking. He's like, should I go in or should I not go in? Should I make this happen? I mean, it wasn't a huge brawl. Like, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of play. And I didn't think that Carolina was necessarily a huge advantage because they had the.
So since I don't know where we are, we're gonna program it for that second-hand store now.
Well, I think he's being realistic about gives the juice worth the squeeze. If it's game 81 and he wants to be Jamie Glennon, it might be a different story. But he's thinking
in 400 meters, turn right on Coronation Avenue.
So that's the storyline, of course. The 12 and 16 in terms
Turn right at the traffic light.
The quick up Obi finding Dylan Strome.
Hey, this is cool. We're in areas we've never been before, Charlie. In Duncan.
In 500 meters, turn right on Highway 1.
Well, you know what coaches often do? They want you to transition as fast as you can so that you can't get set up. That's what we saw there. It wasn't like it was an amazing play, but it was like quick pass over, Obi gets it over to Strome goes in and scores a goal. I like that. But what is interesting about this game is I thought for a long part that the Caps had a good start. And then the Canes kind of took over in that second period. And they looked like they're back.
Where did we come out, Charlie? Nobody really knows. Oh, that's the Shopper Drug Mart over there.
Turn right at the traffic light.
Okay.
During that time. So, Caps are still, they could have used the win, obviously, just like every team could have. But the way the Kings, when they're at their best, they're playing fast, they're relentless on the forecheck. That's how, Brindamore wants them to play, and they do play like that all the time. And they've got a few injuries as well that they're missing right now.
So 8-7-1 with the Caps win, and Logan Thompson's top 30 of 31, 7-4, 156, 936. Not too bad, and the underlying numbers are top 3 in the National Hockey League. If last year was a bit of a Sahara Desert mirage, I don't think it is this year. The team isn't playing as well overall statistically, and there he is doing his thing.
Oh, that's. I mean, you got to have that. So, yeah, both teams are trying to work their way through some of those injuries and keep them forward momentum going. And the Caps got it done last night, and pretty decent game by them.
Okay, that is the storyline from the 9 games in the NHL last night, minus the injuries and what Craig Berube thinks was protecting his player. I don't think Craig, the way he plays, really thought that this was anything.
In 1 kilometer, turn left on Beverly Street.
Charlie. So there's where that other thrift store was there. And we've been told the York Street Diner is no more. It's sad, Charlie. And the large hockey stick is gone from there, Charlie.
In 400 meters, turn left on Beverly Street, then turn right. Turn left at the traffic light, then turn right.
I hate those penalties or those plays. This wasn't that. I actually thought, so Matthews was a bit back-turned and his face was facing the board. I actually thought Isadora eased up as he went to hit Matthews. I think he had the intention, I'm just going to knock this guy down, but I'm not going to do it with violent speed. Especially when he hurt this player. I'm just going to kind of knock him out and make sure he can't make a play also for 1 beat. And then because Matthews kind of knocks up that guy, changes on the play, and kind of comes down and tries to take a run at Zadorov. Now Zadorov has had a presence in those 2 last games. This one was a couple games ago against them.
Okay, we are now on Canada Avenue and we're going to the Thrift Town thrift store. Right, it's down here about 300 meters. We haven't been to this one yet. So we're gonna see what they got here. We're in Duncan B.C. and they're supposedly parking in front.
Arriving at 1059 Canada Avenue on the left.
So we gotta go back. Because we can't park in here. This is not theirs. So we're gonna go and see what they got. Okay, we're just back at the car here. You know, I went in there and I totally forgot. I almost forgot about the CDs in there that I was going to look for. So we did get a couple. We got Amy Grant, Behind the Eyes. Right, and since back in the day my dad was a big band guy, Big Band Jamboree Classics, right? And the other one is The Greatest Big Band Hits of the World. Right, this place was $2 each, so we didn't get that many. And right now I think I'm going to do the smart thing. I'm going to start heading back down the island, but we got to get out of here first. Okay, so if there's any more stops, we'll let you know. We might go to that fish and chip place, but that would be a secondary video. Okay, so like and subscribe. Oh, I do recommend going to this thrift store. It is kind of hard for like a walker. It would be hard for Shannon. Right, so we're going to turn around, we're going to head down this road, then we might head back to that fish and chip place because it is raining and I don't like driving in the rain too much, especially when it gets dark later. Okay, bye for now, Charlie. Wow. So yeah, we might start slowly head back down the island and go to that fish and chip place we saw. So, review map. Yeah, it's too bad it's raining today. But we're doing okay. So that was called Thrift Town Thrift Store.
Jason Robertson is a goal scorer, and he hasn't been doing as much as we think compared to past years. Last night I loved that goal. Skating downhill, rips it. There's no doubt about this is my goal. So has his role changed a bit on this team, or is he not shooting, or why do you see only 4 goals out of a guy who he set a much higher standard in the goal department?
Yeah, his shooting percentage is way out of whack.
There was a couple of nice glasses. There were a Stanley Park glass, but I don't really need that. Like, I got enough beer once as it is. Like, one was actually sealed though.
Scoring chances and shots and opportunities.
Well, there's Hank's Market.
The usual spots in that.
Oh, we were gonna look for Bob's Diner when we were here, if it's still here.
High-grade elite.
Oh boy.
Players. The puck just hasn't been going in. Some that you would understand too, like as players, and I think especially as goal scorers and as goaltenders, those two things, you get confidence brewing, and you feel like as a goaltender you're going to stop everything. And as a goal scorer, I would think they all feel like everything they shoot is going to go into the net, but it can go the other way. And you can struggle a little bit, and you're fighting your game and your belief in yourself, and you're letting in goals that don't usually go in. And for him, he's probably getting opportunities.
Yeah, we'll go straight through here.
That he usually scores on or has in past, and they're not going in. So maybe that one last night unclogs him a little bit, because that was a very Jason Robertson goal. He has such a real sifter of a nasty race car, especially from distance like that. So I don't think anybody's overly concerned, just because of the shot volume and opportunities, and he has been piling up assists. So I think he'll find his groove here in the goal scoring department once again, and it would help if it happened immediately.
I guess we'll turn here, I guess.
Masochistic, a person who derives pleasure from experiencing pain, suffering, or humiliation. Just for the kids out there. So, we got a multi-syllable word. I love it. I'll do that later. I don't want to waste it. Go ahead. I was going to drop Phantasmagoric on you initially when you were asking me about the experience at the hall. That's what it was. It was truly that. Look that one up. Well, I'm going to have to do that one in the break because I'm going to have to remember how to say it. Masochistic is easier because I had a feeling I knew what you were talking about. But anyway, the Olympics and playing or not playing, making or not playing. How do you think it affects this group? Yeah, that's a good question. There's some guys that are probably squeezing it. You're talking about mostly guys that would be like, I don't want to call them old guys, but maybe that's the proper term. Because there's some pretty established individuals that are going to be on the team and everybody knows it. Yeah, I think it can heap a little extra pressure on there, and maybe it does affect a guy like Jason Robertson. He's also got there's a contract that's ahead. Thomas Hardy was the other way.
In 300 meters, turn right on Highway 1.
That Thomas has played. He's certainly not at the...
So we've set it back for that fish and chip place. It's raining Charlie.
And he's been a little bit like a lot of other guys with this squad, where there's pockets where you're like, yep, and then there are these other pockets where you're like, nope, that's where they need.
Turn right at the traffic light.
And Wyatt Johnson's been fantastic. Like, he went into the game last night leading the league in power play goals on a pace to just demolish Cicerelli's franchise record in that category if it continues. And he's been really good. So I think you're right. I think there are some guys that are using it as a cattle prod and motivation, and it's proven a real positive thing for them. And there are probably some other guys that are just thinking about it maybe a little too much and pushing themselves and maybe not playing as relaxed and focused as they probably should be.
Fraser, new coaches, new approach. What do you see different? So, yeah, Glenn Relics and the company.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, there's always a different touch with things. There's a different attitude that comes with coaching changes. I think, you know, he's been...
Continue on Highway 1.
So you can see we're heading back down the island now. That was Duncan for you. We would have gone maybe a bit further if it wasn't for the rain. It's like I don't mind the rain, but
So there's been some missing bodies, and they've had to push some people in.
I'm getting hungry, Charlie.
Different spots. Adam Ernie got injured last night in the game, so there, you know, you subtract that out of there here right now. So it's sort of a work in progress. I don't know how you can even evaluate what's gone on until they get everybody back. I think they're just thrilled that they've been able to, you know, maintain their spot in the West, the division, and all that, despite not playing their most consistent hockey as of yet. But there's not a ton. How much is it going to change when you go back to back to back to conference finals? And maybe just trying to get this group to play a little more intelligently and not be so hard on themselves and make things so difficult on themselves from a good place, but trying to get things done and maybe make up or pull some of the slack from individuals that aren't there. I think it's been a pretty good start and a different atmosphere and still a ton of wins and success, so all good.
Do you need help with Struddy to do something tonight in Montreal on an off night? I'm sure Struddy could offer some suggestions. Daryl?
Those days, Cooley, those days are so over. So over. And I'm a decade separated from him in Camus Blazer world too, so he's just a young buck.
Writing a whole bunch of things down. What are you writing down there, Struddy? He's got a list here. Go ahead, Struddy.
I'm texting Ray, so it's pretty neat. This hour, it's all Camus Blazers. Daryl May, Logan Spenny, Coleman, and myself. I mean, the Blazers are like a rash.
Yeah, they are. A skin tag or a rash. I don't know which one we are starting.
That's great. So this is a team. We got it. It has before. Something that is dreamlike, fantastic, and wild and crazy scenes, man. That's the experience that you deserve, earned and deserved, Daryl. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just the absolute highest honor of career, life, really. Just incredible. I'm so humbled by it.
We'll enjoy a glass of red wine in Montreal tonight.
Well, is that my assignment? Will do.
I just wanted to make it casual because, as you mentioned, those days are so gone. So have fun, Daryl. Thanks again for all of this and the insight and information you always bring to us.
Good talking to you, boys. Be well. Be safe. See you, Jake.
See you, Daryl. So that was good. We learned some words. You know, it's a hockey language at times. You know, we learned that hockey's important, but school's important. But important is not a word. But when Daryl comes to the table, we do learn something. As you know, vocabulary for you young kids out there could be the difference between getting or not getting a job or a gig. As soon as you use multi-syllable words, even if you're faking it, it sounds like you know what you're talking about, right? Phantasmagoric. There you go. No idea that it even existed.
Oh, I love it. I'm trying to figure out how to spell that stuff, so give me at least a break here. 2 minutes to get the spelling right.
Got it. In fact, this is easier than the other word that I already forgot that we learned. P-H-A-N-T and phantasmagoric, T-A-S which is you, because this is a hockey show. When we come back, the entertainment we think continues. Story time with Uncle Jason that will not include spelling and grammar, because hockey is more important to him. We'll be back.
Brian Scalabrine here from the starting lineup. The season's off to an exciting start, and on Sirius XM NBA Radio, we're digging into the stories you care about. With the Lakers rolling without LeBron, the Bulls and the Pistons heating up the East, and the Thunder playing like champions. Lotus Alexander pulls up posture and makes one three-pointer. Get you ready for every can't-miss matchup. Sirius XM NBA Radio. Channel 86 of the Sirius XM app.
In case you missed it on NHL Network Radio.
Let's take on the ice with a point Malinsky shot broke. We're right to the Chuskin. Let's it go. Rebound.
NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. At Lency, we know running a business takes heart, hustle, and sometimes a little help. That's why we stand with you. Exclusively
might try to find that Langford Salvation Army submarine. It's a big one there. They're overflowed. We'll try to find it, I guess.
cozy up by the fire and gather for another cut, for another cut. It's story time with Uncle Cool and his hockey friends.
Today was very special. To see players I played against or played with inducted is pretty cool. So I was thinking back to the game of Char and I were both drafted by the Islanders. And I didn't know who he was prior to that, but the Islanders did some really nice things for us. What they did is they hired a personal trainer in Edmonton for us to train with. So it was myself and another draft pick, Jason Hall, and Zdeno Chara. And, Zdeno Chara, his workout reputation is the best. And what I saw, he would have been 18 when this was going on, or 19. And he came in, and his workouts were nuts. So, for example, we would be doing bench press. So let's say there's 225 on there, I'd be hacking it up trying to do it. And trying to do whatever, and try to squeeze a couple extra reps up. And he'd be spotting me, and he just looked down with one hand and pick up, like, are you done? I'm like, am I done? He was holding it like it was nothing. It was like a pencil. He was so big and strong. He was amazing. His father was an Olympic wrestler, and what he would do is he would take a 45-pound plate, and he would put between his hands and his knees on, so his elbows on his knees, and tick-tock it back and forth. A 45-pound plate. I walked into the gym one day and saw him doing that. I'm like, I'll never be stronger than this guy. And I was a pretty big guy. I was 225 pounds. This guy was throwing around a 45-pound plate in his hand. It looked like a coaster that Steve Cooley's might use at one of his Christmas parties. But the thing that really impressed me the most, I'm not gonna lie, Cool, you can probably imagine I like to have the odd fun night on a weekend, maybe a Thursday if things are going well. This guy's a Daniel Chara never came with us. I think maybe one time when he didn't drink, he would just go home. He's like, I gotta prepare for my next workout. I'd be like, oh, it's like mid-July, let's go have some fun. Not Z. And I never judged him. I was actually really impressed that he had the discipline that I didn't have to take a few nights off. But I'm not surprised at what he did because he worked harder than anyone else, and a lot of people worked hard. Discipline and desire. And he was so strict, and he became the amazing player he was. And even if we still went to each other, bumped into each other, still talked to each other, he was always the same guy. So I was so proud of him. But from 18, it was the same setup he had his whole career.
Wow, that's amazing, Scruddy. I forgot about your connection with Chara because there's so many analysts, and we also have 6 degrees of separation. You can tie to so many people and all your great stories. And even that, like when you were going to tell me the story, I was assuming you were going to say, well, January. Or it was July where you think, wow, that is dedication and desire as you lead. That's amazing stuff where you're like, come on, man. We want you to come out with this. Enjoy a red wine. Trust me, you can work it off tomorrow, right?
He was amazing, and he was so disciplined, and not when I started playing for him. I mean, he couldn't skate very well, but I'm not going to sit here and say I was Conor McDavid, but I felt pretty comfortable skating beside him. Well, he really worked on that part of his game, and when he was so big and so strong, even fighting, I don't know that fighting was naturally to him, but he would play in the minors together. And he developed that newness that we saw later. He didn't have when he was 20, but most people don't. You know, he worked at it and brought that out of himself. And I think he was always thinking, what could I add to my arsenal to become a more dangerous player to play against? Not as far as dangerous as injuring people, but, you know, just a more complete hockey player. And I always respect that from him. And then when he went to Boston, this guy's ready to pop. He was ready to pop into lead this team. And you read the comments by his teammates, you know, and the way he always be called late at night. There's a good one that he called me late at night to talk about how he can help player X, Y, and Z. Like, that is such a detailed preparation. It's not NHL players like that. I can tell you, they're not all there, but he was.
Great stuff, Scruddy. Congrats, Charlie.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
We're on to Week 11 in the NFL, which opens tomorrow night in Foxborough with the first-place Patriots hosting the Jets. It also includes the first-ever NFL game to be played in Spain and an NFC West showdown between a couple of 7-2 teams in the Seahawks and the Rams. It's all on your 24/7 home for football. Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports, wherever you are. Your team plays here.
What does it mean to live a rich life? It means brave first leaps, tearful goodbyes, and everything in between. With over 100 years experience navigating the ups and downs of growth and life, we are here to be financial advisor leading to the planning ahead with confidence. Because we don't have time to find your rich, we'll do what we can to help you keep on dreaming.
Hey Google.
Wins from the last 3 seasons. 3 ineligible players participated under former head coach Mel Tucker. The school also be fined $30,000 as well as 1.5% of the program's budget. Bureau Giants head coach Mike Kafka said Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback against the Packers. Jackson Dart recovers from last week's concussion. Kafka also named Tim Kelly offensive coordinator. Mike said he himself will call blanks. The Jets ruled out receiver Garrett Wilson for tomorrow night's game against the Patriots. ESPN reports Lakers star LeBron James reported to the club's G League affiliate today to practice as he works towards a season debut from sciatica.
okay, you're playing at a very high level, and next thing you know, your mind's messed up, and you just can't seem to put it together in return to move on.
Going down into Mill Bay now. The Beehive campground over there.
NHL Network Radio. You're on the Power Play with Steve Coolings on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Winnebago up there, Charlie. See that on the right? We should have left earlier in the day for this. We should have left Walmart for tomorrow, Charlie. Maybe gone as far as I'm. That's okay. I've been to that estate sales store before. You've probably seen in other videos. It's not too bad. It's below the Salvation Army. It's always worth checking out. It's Charlie. Now we're going to this fish and chip place. We're going to try it and just show you where it is. We reset the dash cam. We just went to Mill Bay. It's 42K to Duncan.
In 1 kilometer,
but it's only
at
it's only like a kilometer up here.
On the right.
So we're going to extend the video a bit. Like we want to show you where this place is, and maybe in the future we should do more of that. Like we can't like sort of like right when we're there because we have to start off the dash cam. But yeah, this is good. It's going to be good to try this place. We haven't tried this one before. And like I said, it's past Mill Bay going home, like going back towards Victoria. Or if you were going towards Mill Bay, you'd be going on the other way. Like so, if you were coming up from Victoria, it would be the other way. Now, according to this, it's like 150 meters, so it's just past these lights here.
In 100 meters, arrive at 2490 Trans-Canada Highway
so
on
hopefully we
the right.
can get in there. Oh, it's right. Oh no, it's right in here. It is in here. Right, so we almost screwed this up. It's called West Coast Fish and Chips. So it is in this complex here, so we're lucky we caught that, Charlie. So yeah, it's on the right down there on can you see that? Oh, that's a handicap one, so we are gonna park. This guy's going, so we're gonna back up. And we're gonna go there. So this is gonna be good for Shannon sometime if we come here, Shannon. See, it's right in the corner there. And there's a wheelchair one right there, so we're gonna check this out. We're at West Coast Fish and Chips. So we're actually going to head back to the condo now. We'll do the Langford thing another day because it is 2:45 and I want to get back before the rain comes and before it gets too dark. Maybe we'll watch a movie or work on these videos. So it's where the Serious Coffee is, Charlie.
Turn right at the traffic light.
Yeah, so it's easy to get in and out of if you're coming either way, Charlie.
Continue on Highway 1.
So that was a fun day trip up there, Charlie.
Yeah, you have to know to use the spinner, and you have to have the tire pressure so it grips. Like you don't want your tires for a Zamboni on the road. You want the Zamboni let the air out so you can grip, and then you need the spinner, and and then I see the guys at the rink, he did a good job. He went right to the boards. He didn't rush it. You don't want to go on for your beer league games. Oh, and they haven't done the corners because he cut them and he didn't care that he overflooded here. It's an art to be a good, sober Zamboni driver, Freddie.
Well, let's get serious. How do you know what the thrill is like in the corners? You never go in there. You're always in the middle of the ice. So you're tapping in between the hash marks.
First of all, have you been watching my games on Live Bar? And second of all, I go into the corner. I go into the corners and I set up shop. I'll tell you honestly right now. I go in every area. And I know you're trying to rip me, but you're wrong. We're going to hit the break, come back with the final segment and final thoughts about tonight. And I got a guarantee somebody scores. I'll tell you that next.
In case you missed it on NHL Network Radio. And here's Pasternak on the feed from Kiki just one side, and he scores! Pasternak going back and forth in front of Hildeby, and he gets number 400 in his career.
Macklin moving in with Grant. Who's in the mark? Grant Conlon, Grant from Macklin Severini. He stick handles right around the goaltender. Grant puts it past him, and the Sharks win in overtime.
NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app. Why settle for a 7 a.m. tea time when you want it 8? Or an iced coffee when you ask for hot? Or a corporate card that gives you pennies in rewards when you could be saving thousands? Ramp is the only corporate card built to help companies spend less, not more. That's not coincidence. That's design. And it works without slowing you down. With Ramp, you get real-time visibility into every transaction. Out-of-policy spend blocked before it clears. Duplicate SaaS tools for unused seats flagged before it goes to budget. Ramp automates the guardrails so you can stop chasing receipts and start driving strategy. Over 40,000 companies already run on Ramp, including CBRE and Shopify. They're not just logos, they're teams reclaiming time, cutting costs, and closing the books without overtime. Because with Ramp, the less you touch your expense system, the better it works. Right now, your business can get $250 off at ramp.com/sports. That's ramp.com/sports. Ramp, built for savings, not points.
It's Caprice on a 101 over the offensive line. Kevin Hockey comes alive. So the 70, they score!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Before, jury. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Right down to the center ice, makes a nice move. 2-on-1.
The best hockey lives here.
Connor moving in, shooting, score!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. The biggest plays on the ice.
Sends it up ahead, it's a 2-on-1. It's Jack and Jesper. Jack across the line, shot, score!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Ready? I guarantee Braden Point scores. I can't guarantee the Lightning win because they're so banged up. The Rangers are Road Warriors. Like that movie, Warriors. Remember that? Pretty good movie. As the points do, Point will score. I guarantee that tonight. And I'm also going to guarantee a Connor Bedard 2-point game. That's my guarantee.
Like that. You know, I'm looking at that game as well. The Hawks and the Devils going to be fast, and there's plenty of skill, especially those top two centers, like Hughes and Bedard. So I'm just looking forward to those two guys. One of them having a highlight reel goal. I mean, they're talented guys, lots of speed, so it'll be an interesting matchup to watch those two on the ice against each other.
So, Nuge is out, the miracle comeback. What's been the story of the 7-6-4 Oilers? A lot of teams in the league have area code records. 7-6-4 is the first three numbers to call in Athens. You know, when I talked to my cousin Gus. So, I mean, Sabres are 5-6-4 and 8-5-3. It's a weird year, my friend. It's a weird start to the year.
It is. You know, and I looking at the Oilers, I think it's their D zone coverage. They've given up so many goals. I mean, if you take out the 9-1 goal that, the goal total from the other night, just, you know, it's just been lapses in their own zone or puck management, and that's unlike a team that's been in the Stanley Cup final. That's why, if I'm an Oilers fan, I'm encouraged with the idea that they are going to find their groove, because they've shown they can do it before. And this is a veteran group, especially down the middle and on D. So look for that. You know, they're playing Philly tonight, who has challenged to score. So I think if you can, you know, have a good, hard defensive game, don't gift that many goals to Philly.
What was the buzz in Edmonton after the McDavid 2 goals, but really the Spinorama goal that is right up there as goal of the year in the NHL? And we've had a lot of great candidates here 20% into the season.
He wasn't going to be tonight. Like, he wanted to win that game, and he came out with the idea that, you know, if I have to do it myself, I will. And I honestly think that, you know, Connor McDavid can watch someone Nathan McKinnon and have a little bit of his kind of idea that swagger. I'm going to score some goals here. And Connor is an elite player, but I think at times he does, you know, maybe pass the puck a little bit too much. Think on, you know, the second goal where he skates around the D-man and goes far side. It's a really nice goal, and he can do that. Not all the time, but you're capable. So I think, especially when the team's struggling, he can take a little bit more of that idea of just, I'm going to be a little bit more selfish with the puck. And at times it's okay to be selfish if that's the best play.
That's a great point, because when I talked about the Braden Point stuff, he has 31 shots on goal, Hagel and Gensel and a few other Lightning have more, but the league leader in shots on goal is Nate McKinnon with 74, of which he scored 14 times. I don't care what his shooting percentage is. McDavid can score more. He showed us when he scored 64. I think if I have an honest criticism, is he is too unselfish. And you just said it yourself. There's a time when my best option is me, number 97, as he showed us the other night. I mean, that seems to be a no-brainer, and sometimes he just loves to stay a little bit on the perimeter and dish. I know when three guys come at him, the best play is to give it to Bouchard. And, what did you make of the Bouchard 97 stuff? We have not yet talked about that little drama. Is that a side burner, or is it just things that happen on the ice when the cameras are on?
Yeah, so those who see it in between the two last games, they were obviously doing something, and Connor wasn't happy the way that Bouchard was doing, or that's what I interpreted. They were talking about it, and Connor was, relatively heated. Now, I'll say this: there's been a lot more heated conversations on the ice than that one, but he was, and Ekholm was there, and they were having a conversation. I think it's healthy. You got to talk about things and challenge each other to be a better version of yourself, especially when things aren't going well. So I don't think anything will carry on from there. But when your captain challenges you in whatever way he was there, it hits hard, and even from the coach, because this is your peer. You're on the same group. You're always kind of going to try and do things together. So I think it's important when that happens to respond.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting and bickering. I'm sure you don't see it a lot of times, or just friendly chatter. Just because I've seen Colesburg and Sacramento fans say some things. It's true. Just because the camera got it. There's conversations that go along. I mean, brothers argue and fight, husbands and wives argue and fight. So there's just moments of, let's be honest, mediocrity is frustrating when you're only now +1 when you hope to be. Not that the Oilers ever got off to a great start.
We can see how the second half of the year, and your points are well made. People do big one. Who is it they would own? Who's the guy who argued with Sidney Crosby all the time? And then just go at it on the bench. I want to say Bjornstrand, that's not him. But they would battle like crazy and go out there. And I liked it. I like it's okay to challenge the best players in the league too, if they're challenging you back and forth. Obviously, with respect for the weight, I love that intensity.
Patrick Hornquist is the he argued with everybody. Yeah. Struddy, great job. Keep up the great coaching. And ask Struddy next time he's on what the Alberta handshake is. He'll tell you, because apparently his kids are doing it. Reminiscent to the 70s Flyers. That's all I'm going to say. Enjoy. I don't want to go.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and by downloading the SiriusXM app, you can enjoy a gift bag full of holiday channels just waiting to be opened. Shake the tinsel right off the tree with Jolly Christmas. Let your children take control of the sleigh radio with Kids Christmas. Relive timeless classics with holiday traditions. There are dozens of festive channels to choose from. Just download the SiriusXM app and search holiday now.
You didn't start a business to babysit your poorest performing employees. That's exactly why I started my business, so you don't have to. Hi, I'm Alan Jones, founder and CEO of Bambi. I created Bambi so small business owners could take back control of their business. Need to fire a poor performing employee who happens to now want 3 months off? Your Bambi HR manager will take care of that for you in your first week with us. You spend your time coaching your A players, we'll take care of the rest. I'm so confident that Bambi will help you focus on what you love about running your business that I'm offering a $1 trial to the service for your first month. Trust me, there are no limits to the amount of calls or questions you can give your Bambi HR manager. After your first month, just $29 a month for companies of any size. Month to month, no hidden fees, cancel anytime.
Get a month of Bambi for just $1. Go to Bambi.com and type stocks under radio to schedule your first call with an HR manager right now. Go to BAMBEE.com, stocks radio.
Before, during, after.
He's on control by the Sharks. He shoots. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Everything is better on ice.
On the right circle, Patterson into the slot for Kessler. Back to Maroon. Right side, Patterson one timer. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Andrew said, did Mike Rupp here with you? No, that was a good one with Landy. And guess what? Hockey players, they're just like us. The kids break into the room during the interview, and sometimes they just don't listen.
Yeah, and you know what? He handled like a pro. Gabe is the perfect human, I think. I think he really is. Yeah, I think he was.
It's not fair for the rest of us.
No, not really. But no, he's great. Great having him on. It's been an awesome story, and the story's still being written. You know, he gets his first goal last night. He means so much to this Colorado team. This team's a juggernaut, what they're doing right now. So I expect them to play very late into the spring, and we'll see what Mandy has up his sleeve.
Yeah, well, he's 32 years old. Like, he's not old. I know it feels like he's old because...
Are we saying that to make ourselves feel better? Or we?
No, he's not like he's not feeling myself. When I look at NHL players' ages, I try not to think about my own. But no, we feel like he's been around forever because he's not captain. He's 18 years old, and you know he's 32. He does. He said that right on there. He's got so much more to give, and we know he does. I can't wait to. We're already getting to see how special. Colorado is. They're always good.
Yeah, Las Vegas, they are the odds-on favorite at a +5.
Not the Golden Knights.
Exactly. The Golden Knights may agree at this point in time, but I think they put themselves ahead, but very well played there. Let's go ahead and get you kind of on the news of the day with our Dave Rush. The Capitals named Patrick Weller their assistant coach. He spent the past 7 seasons as the assistant with Hershey Bears, overseeing the team's defensemen. Also, after leaving the game early on Tuesday, Coach Bednar announced that Larry Nichushkin will miss some time, which is still to be determined. And tough news for the Canucks, says after playing just 1 period on Tuesday, Patrick Demko is said to miss 2 to 3 weeks with a lower body injury. But shifting to tonight's matchups, we're going to welcome in Darren Pang. Panger, thank you so much for joining us. I know you'll be on the call tonight for the Rangers and the Lightning. Just talk about the state of the Lightning right now. They're kind of turning that corner here in November.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to talk about that, but I got to talk to the big guy, Doobie, first. Doobie, welcome to the program, big guy. How are you?
Hey, man, it's awesome to be back. I missed it all last year.
I know you did. You look great, and I understand. Did you do something with Bob Mason in Minnesota?
I just saw
the goalies.
I just saw recently the 25th anniversary goalie celebration. Yeah.
Nice stuff. He texted me the other day. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that to you guys. So, but anyway, on this side of it, we got a good matchup here between Tampa and the Rangers. But listen, Tampa's going to be challenged. I mean, all indications are they're missing a boatload of guys here for this game. I know there's some game time decisions, but you've got question marks obviously with Hedman, with McDonough, with Cirelli. Boy, oh boy. It's a mismatch of players right there. You can take a look at Holmberg's going to be out, and Holmberg's been really good on the checking line with Jurgensen and with Yanni Ford as well. So listen, this is just going to be a real challenge here. So maybe Crozier might be a guy that steps in. You got one. I know Nick Ball's getting closer. He skated today, but for John Cooper, this is going to be a real one of those games where you know you're going to be rolling over the boards every second shift. They're not going 11-7, so some of the young team that maybe the fans don't know a lot about are going to get some good ice time with the 2 big boys, likely beat up for the. So I think that's going to be the fun part of it is what does Tampa Bay have in store for the New York Rangers? They've won at home, scored some goals, played well on the road all season long, and look like they're falling into place, especially with the protest back in the lineup.
Yeah, hey, Panger, how do you see this playing out? Because they have been really dominant on the road. So would there be any, I don't know, kind of new lease on life for them because they won at home, or where they're at down there?
You know, I think they're comfortable with where they're at, Buffer. I think that's a good question, but I think when Trocheck, you slide Trocheck back into the lineup, everybody else gets put in the right spot. I mean, besides his 60% face-off rate that he's notoriously great at, he's fucking in a better spot. Look for them, but now you got Gate on that line, and I talked to JT Miller about it, and he's so impressed with Dave Perreault and his ability to make a play. That's what we talk about for NHL players. They make a play in tight areas when there's pressure on you, or you need the puck when you beat the pucker. And I think that's been really good with Savannah and with Miller. They played another day, and I think it's game pro. And, you know, it's that kind of coaching, Zibanejad and Miller, and learns that part of the game. Can they build for skill and can they play? I think that's going to be a real nice combination on top of Mike Sullivan.
Yeah, that's great advice there. I think, you know, it's amazing you think about a player coming back. You think about Cowichan coming back, and you think about what he can do. But then you look at how it shakes out the lineup and how it just kind of makes everything a little better for everybody. It's not just what the specific player can do, but it makes the whole lineup better. For the Rangers, did you get a feel, like, was that holding in with 6 goals as big as it felt like for all of us? Or are they kind of downplaying it a little bit, knowing that Rangers are really comfortable?
No, you know, really good thought there. And we asked Mike Sullivan this morning about addressing the team, you know, those elephant in the room, so to speak. And he did say that he did address the team. He basically says, hey, guys, you know, you can't squeeze your sticks. You talked about squeezing your sticks. You talked about how, you know, how you're lacking confidence on home ice and how basically there's no energy in the building because you're not scoring. And so it's natural just to kind of go, man, what are we going to do next? But he talked about focusing on the details. Obviously, every coach is going to talk about that, going through the process. But really, don't squeeze your stick. Like, this is where we're at. We're at home. We got to use home ice as an advantage for the New York Rangers, not a disadvantage. We've got to engage our fans. We've got to get that energy going. And so I think, you know, scoring the 6 goals, I think was just a kind of a culmination of what they were doing on the road, and finally they get the jackpot against Nashville on home ice. So that, listen, I would have to think that gives them some confidence, but the reality of it is, you still go on to the road, and this is another game, another day. But listen, they played excellent hockey on the road. It's been fantastic to watch on the road, and just tough to watch on home ice.
Since you shaved your head, buddy. Every show's been right here, buddy.
Yeah, listen, it's been 44 years, and I've got a roll for 44 years. Hey, listen, I had here before Mike Keenan coached me in Chicago. Just kidding, Mike. I probably deserve to be pulled a few of those times. So, you know, Panarin, I'm definitely right here in my left. I'm between the benches right now, and to my left, he will come over, and he'll probably give me one of these right here. And so, yeah, he did it a couple of years ago, and he went on a roll. Started slowly here. He's an unrestricted free agent. So, yeah, look at, let's do the splits right here. Whip here. Goal 3 versus 2. Boy, you know why he's faster.
Yeah, that might be my favorite split screen match.
The flow is not stopping him in the wind, in the breeze right here. It's screaming. You know, if you can only get the Mike Rough mustache like that, then we're laughing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't do that. It'll slow you down quick. I'm going to ask you this real quick because Coop had a couple moments early on with this team. Brian Boyle and I were sitting here, and it was so weird, Banger, because it was like, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. It's almost like they forgot how to play hockey for like a stretch. Like 6-foot passes, they weren't making like elite players, awesome players, and it was like all of a sudden they started getting their game back a little bit, and they've gotten going. What do you think? Like, did the rest of the Eastern Conference, should they be a little concerned that they didn't take advantage of Tampa maybe coming out of the gates as slow? You know what I mean? With all the parity in the East, no one really capitalized on a really slow start for Tampa.
You are worried about that, and I think, you know, I'm not saying that I know like what they did exactly, but you know, you've got a goaltender that's an all-world goaltender that, you know, maybe struggled a little bit. You got a team that didn't really defend really well. You had a team that had that blowout draw against the Florida Panthers early, had suspensions, had fines, had some injuries, and then you finally find your game. But the one thing about Coop is, and another thing I will say about this, is that he did lose a really good assistant coach, and for 3 years, Jeff Blaston was a big part of the penalty kill early on. You know, they lose him to the Chicago Blackhawks, and there's an adjustment period that goes on with them, I think, anyways. And so I think now they're catching form. Their penalty kill is rolling. It's first in the National Hockey League, and I think that's been keeping them in some games. Drayden Point hasn't started up very well. This is not Brayden Point like hockey. I guarantee you, tonight's the night for Brayden Point, one of my favorite players in the NHL, to get a rolling again, because he hasn't been himself.
Well, you stole my next question. I was going to say, other than getting healthy, Tampa Bay is going to need Brayden Point. What have you seen from him that is out of the norm from what we're used to seeing? And what do you want to see him do to get back to where you were normally seeing him?
You know, I think less than Curry sometimes. I mean, I think he's a one-man wrecking crew on his own. And he's had several opportunities like the one you're showing right now where he hits a post, and he bangs on it, it goes wide, takes a pass like that, and it goes
So it cleared up after all.
I think there's no pressure for the elements right now. He is a Canadian Olympian. I mean, he's a Canadian of all Canadians. So it's just a matter of getting that puck rolling off the blades the right way, finding that one play where you think you kind of give the defensive their liner where it looks like there's half number Cowichan off the defensive bails out, and it's defeating the goaltender. He's one of the best in the league as a right-hand shot getting going to the short side. High blocker. I mean, there's very few. Logan Stankoven is very good at right shot going down the left side inside the post on the blocker side. I think Brayden Point's the best in the league at it. So I think if he just finds a couple of those, that things will roll his way.
I love that, the obligatory goalie union chatter there. Yeah, I think you guys have to connect at some point during the segment. Panger, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about the Blackhawks. Dallas Blackhawks, that's going to be the nightcap this evening. Connor Bedard averaging over 2 points per game.
Keep right toward View Royal.
Have you seen him turn this season?
Every. I mean, except for work ethic, he's got that instilled in him. The kid just loves the game. He wants to be trained. I get all that. But I've noticed that I think he's doing a great job of managing his time. You know, the Zamboni driver isn't booting him off the ice right now. He works on his stuff. He gets off the ice. Obviously, in the offseason, he works on his crossovers, his speed going north-south. His boots look a lot lighter. He cut his stick by 2 inches. He's got it a little firmer, fleck-wise. He's better on the face-off dots. I don't know. I'm such a big fan, and I love the way he's acting, the way he does his interviews. He's paying attention to everything that's going on. He's a great kid, and I think he's having a lot of fun right now. And I think you're seeing that it's fast becoming like the young boys team there for the Chicago Blackhawks, and he is absolutely leading the charge. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
I was going to say, Connor Bedard performing at this level is not just good for the Blackhawks, it's their fans, but it's just good for hockey. Panger, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great call tonight.
In 400 meters, turn left on Island Highway.
I need the footage of
Charlie
Aaron
Meow.
rubbing his head.
And we weren't striking anybody then, Charlie Meow. No, everyone was good today driving, all us. Everybody was driving.
Goes on another run, we know who's responsible. This is what we do. We break the hard-hitting news here on NHL Now. Guys, let's circle back to this Rangers-Lightning game.
Turn left at the traffic light.
About the Rangers all season. Home
Yeah, it's a double left, Charlie.
You guys just discussed that earlier. But on the road, like, this is a tough test tonight. Especially, you know, with all the injuries. But for the Lightning, they could get some help.
Yeah, I mean, this the Rangers, I've said it, and I'm going to stay true to it. Now, I did kind of teeter for a little bit there when you're seeing the home, the lack of production at home. But I think this team's fine. I really do. I think they're going to be fine. They're in the mix here. They didn't bury themselves with the right column where they are in a bad spot. Like, they're fine. Just you start moving forward, man. Don't forget about what's behind you. And this is a team that has a lot of metrics that are really good, and a lot of metrics that were not really good last year are good now. And so they've got to kind of just keep chipping away at this. I think they'll be fine. I think Panger mentioned it. You mentioned it. Having Vinny Trocheck involved back in the mix is enormous for this team. So maybe this is good for them. Get that first win at home, get on the road, have a tough matchup, but you got to take advantage of it, like Panger said. All those injuries, like, don't let these guys off the mat. And it's going to be tough, though, because that Tampa Bay Lightning team, they've been trending in the right direction, too.
Yeah, but you know, is this the Tampa Bay Lightning team that's been trending in the right direction with all those injuries, right? So these are games that can kind of go both ways. So you can come out as the New York Rangers, understand how depleted.
In 400 meters, be in the right lane, then keep right to the road.
And the game. You get a potential, you know, some hero performances on Tampa Bay. You got a lot of a lot of guys come in. You're going to have American League call-ups. You're going to have guys playing roles that they're
Keep right to the road.
You could have that side of it where these guys are excited, they're energized, and they step up and have a huge performance in a game that they're not necessarily expected to. So it's kind of one of those ones you go one or the other.
In 4.5 kilometers, turn right on Milliken Road.
And play that as well as they have on the road.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Charlie, so we're gonna go right home, Charlie.
This could be the biggest game of their lives for most people. It's just, you know, a November game. As they're hosting the Rangers, someone they probably need to perform really well is Vasilevsky. What have you seen from him so far this season? Last 6 games and .923 save percentage.
Well, that's Vassy that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
The thing with him is if he goes ups and downs, the team wants him to be up because they need to win games, but it's one of those things you're never concerned about. Oh, what's wrong with Vassy, or is he falling off? No, he's not. He is one of the greats. He's always top of the league. He's always always going to be, but he's still there. And so he's back to what we expect out of Vasilevsky. And when he's able to do that, the team has success. It's a silly thing to say when a goalie plays great, the team wins hockey games. But when you have a guy back there who is as great as he is, and he's not playing as well, and you just know it's there, you're just wanting it to come so bad. It can be tough on the team when you know what's in there, and now he's back to what we're used to.
Yeah, he was dinged up too in camp and coming into the season, so very well may still be, but he's kind of found his game, and I think the more important thing is he's kind of bought some time for the team in front of him to start doing some things better. Now you're starting to see this as a squad that again, there's a lot of injuries, but I think that this is a team that has done the same thing as the Rangers. Like, it's gone through some tough stretch, but you're fine. You're totally fine. Like, you just got to keep climbing all season long. I think some of the teams we're talking about now, I love that we're talking about them. I don't know where they're going to be come game 40, 60, 80. I have a pretty good feeling that Tampa's going to be in the mix. That's inside the playoffs.
I say this time and time again, but if we've learned one thing, it is not to count the Lightning out at any point in the season. As long as they're within striking distance, they're more than likely to make the postseason. Brandon, the research just gave me an interesting nugget here. Rangers, when they score 2 or more goals, 8-0-1 this season, or 8-0-1, yeah, and then 2 or fewer, 0-7-1. I mean, one or fewer. Sorry, 0-7.
Yes, I mean a lot of that's been on home ice. So you've got goaltending in spades in New York. It doesn't matter if it's Quickie or Sturgeon. So it's the both guys have been they've been great. So you know you're going to get an honest effort there. They're defending better as a team. Again, I'm not worried about these guys.
No, you know what's awesome about them, and not an easy thing to do. And I was thinking about this early on in the season when they went 3 out of 4 games at home shutout, and I think they even had one on the road that wasn't great. Just Sturgeon, he'd given up 4 goals in 3 games, and it was like 1-1 or something, or it was just something ridiculous. And
we're almost home, Charlie. Yeah.
With the shutouts and stuff, and the longer that goes on, it's easy to be engaged, but at some point, as a human being, like that can start to affect somebody. Where it's like, I'm going out there, standing on my head, giving up 1 goal a game, maybe 2 if the other team's lucky, and losing game after game after game. Do you let that affect you? Change anything? And good on Sorokin for sticking with it and not letting his game go down, because he was incredible at the start of the year and not getting wins, and he hasn't let his game go down.
So this is something that was brought to my attention yesterday. I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Johnny Lazarus. He brought this up, and I thought it was beautifully. He covers the Rangers, and he said, with everything that was going on, like we were seeing history in a bad way at home for the Rangers. This guy, Igor, said no, didn't say any sideways comment about anybody, anything. I wouldn't have been shocked if he could. You know what I mean? Like we were seeing something.
It's neat how they can control the light charting.
Sticking to it. Yeah, it's not easy to do.
Was not what he didn't get phased. He didn't take any make any comments.
that was something I think that's pretty impressive when you're looking at it.
And it's understandable. We're going to saw that happen in Toronto this season, so you can understand where that would be coming from. Guys, we're going to step aside here on this edition of NHL Now. We'll come back. The Preds and the Penguins are going global. After the break, we take a look at the global series of the games. Answers to it.
NHL is presented by the United States Marine Corps. Happy to have you with you for a brand new games. Marines are made
It was a pretty fun day, you guys. We went to the thrift store in Duncan, right, and we got the fish and chips. It was so big, went fast though. It's 3:21 now.